나무응으로 내 음인주의보다나 염치시라 벌질러소반데 나손대제보라 진jel로 진천한그 벌지시와다 조도모니 정의롭소 보제와매 벌나나로
In the mountains of Nanshan, a remote nomadic region of eastern Tibet, 3,000 women, living in hermitages and monasteries, practice an ancient yogic tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. These practices have been handed down in an unbroken lineage from the 19th century teacher Tsoknyi Rinpoche I, whose unique vision was of a tradition of nuns and yoginis who would become, in time, some of the most accomplished spiritual practitioners in the world. In 2005, the third incarnation of Tsoknyi Rinpoche led a small group of Western students to Nanshan to meet the Tsoknyi Nanshan nuns. This is the story of an extraordinary journey.
This is for all the nuns. And this is for Wolfie. And this is for our journey.
Of course, accomplished women are reborn as enlightened beings, but nobody look for them. They are not sought out like men and recognized. Basically, women are considered to have a lower birth than men. But the Buddha nature of all beings is the same. The monks and nuns, Buddha nature is not different. Usually the living situation of monk is considered a little better than ours. But those people who say there is a difference don't understand Buddha nature.
In a discourse with his female student Yeshe Sogyal, Guru Padmasambhava went one step further when he told her, "Yogini, seasoned in the secret mantra, the ground of liberation is this human form, this common human form. And here, distinctions male and female have no consequence. And yet, if the awakened heart of compassion graces it, a woman's form will be supreme."
Women have the intelligence. After all, the perfection of wisdom is female. They have the compassion because they are geared to become mothers. They have the ability to leap into the intuitive because their minds are more at ease within the intuitive. And so by rights, they should be the supreme practitioners and the guides.
Women practitioners did find a way to realization as yoginis, living with other wandering yogis and yoginis, practicing in remote mountain hermitages, and dedicating their lives to the attainment of liberation for the benefit of all sentient beings.
Yogini is like almost like a lifelong retreat, and I think it's completely detached of the external world. It's not that she's doing purposely detached. It's just through the practice, it's okay. It's normal for them. When yogis start to feel like their simple life is normal, I think that is the very high, one of the high realization. And then, of course, traditionally, you practice many years, retreat, you do a lot, then you go more up, then you just stay there.
The practice of Buddhism was particularly strong in the kingdom of Nanshan, both among monastics and lay people. Every home had a shrine, and the region became known as Gomde, land of meditators. But not everyone in Nanshan led a spiritual life. In the late 1800s, Tsoknyi Gyamtso was born into a rich and powerful local family. Growing up, he loved to hunt. One day, he came upon a herd of deer in a valley. Taking aim, he hit a fawn. Its mother turned, and letting out a piercing cry, looked Tsoknyi Gyamtso straight in the eye. Oh no, he thought, she knows I'm going to kill her, and yet she stays to watch over her dying fawn. I am a true murderer. Filled with deep sadness, he threw down his rifle and went in search of a guru. At that time, Tsoknyi Rinpoche I was teacher to the king of Nanshan. That morning, he told his attendant, "A stranger is coming today to meet me. Tell me when he arrives." Tsoknyi Gyamtso became a principal student of Tsoknyi Rinpoche I, and under his guidance became an outstanding meditator and teacher. But Tsoknyi Rinpoche had other plans for his student. One day he called Tsoknyi Gyamtso to his side and told him, "The way you will benefit beings the most in this life is by building nunneries. Female practitioners are often not valued, and so they have a harder time finding proper guidance. Your mission is to take care of nuns." The present Tsoknyi Rinpoche III talks about his previous incarnation's vision.
First Tsoknyi Rinpoche commanded or asked to Tsoknyi Gyamtso that, he'd like to see in the future women practitioner. From there, then many nuns practice seriously yogic tradition. So I think First Tsoknyi has a great future vision to put, if his student put energy to the women, I think there's a great opportunity have a great yogini.
Over the next 100 years, Tsoknyi Rinpoche's vision of women receiving the same teachings as men was fulfilled, and the yoginis and nuns who received the training that he and Sangyang Gyamtso initiated became known throughout eastern Tibet as outstanding spiritual practitioners. By the mid-20th century, 4,000 women were practicing and living together in harmonious communities, large and small, throughout Nanshan. Then suddenly, in 1959, everything changed. By the time the Cultural Revolution had swept through the region, all 40 nunneries were destroyed. And 4,000 nuns had scattered. Some returned to their nomadic families. Some were sent to work camps. Many didn't survive. But a few retreated into caves deep in the mountains to practice and wait. It was 20 years before the nuns began to emerge from hiding. During those years, Tsoknyi Rinpoche II died in a Chinese prison. And the third incarnation of Tsoknyi Rinpoche was born many miles to the southwest in Nepal.
About 20 years, everything gone. Whole monastery gone, whole nun gone, no one lives here. Then after 20 years, and they start to gather together. 4 nuns, 5 nuns. And then very difficult, physically very difficult, and then slowly build like that. All this thing is nuns carry by from down there. By nuns back. All this, everything is carried by the nuns.
These were the women we had come to meet. It had been 20 years since they had begun rebuilding.